Prague, an amazing, beautiful city, isn't it? Look at that church, for example. But also has many numerous problems in the city. A very notable problem being that of homelessness. Go all around Prague in parks and everywhere. You'll find a few homeless people around. And that's a big issue. It haunts this beautiful city and country a lot. So, how can we fix this? Well, let's find that out together, shall we? Nice day outside, isn't it? Yeah, great work. Yeah, it's a bit chilly though, isn't it? Like, slightly. You know, there's that homeless guy on the bench over there. Yeah. I feel a bit bad for him. I mean, to be fair, it isn't necessarily his fault. You know, I mean, in the next year, housing prices are gonna grow by 5 to 10%, according to numerous sources, and the average yearly salary only increases by 4.6%. How are you supposed to keep up with that? If the housing prices are always gonna get higher, how are they supposed to buy a house?
True, that is a big factor of it, but I think that there's also other aspects to it.
Oh yeah, you are right. I mean, definitely it isn't the only factor, but there's definitely a major one.
Yeah, I mean, look at mental illness.
Mental illness, that's definitely a big factor in it. But I don't really know exactly what it could really affect.
Well, I mean, homeless people, they can't seek for help. They have no one to talk to, no one to show their emotions to.
That's really
and
true.
It's also really expensive to get treatment for those people.
Oh yeah, like a therapist. And yeah. I mean, I tried therapy once. They were pretty expensive, so I get why they'd be in this situation. I mean, if you can't work, you just have no one to talk to. It's obviously gonna get you here, right?
Yeah, I'm glad you understand.
I mean, I think there's also other reasons, no?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, refugees, for example. It's been a long day, hasn't it, Tony?
Yeah, it really has.
No, I just remembered something that now we've walked so far. You remember in that park there we talked about the homeless guy?
Yeah.
And how homelessness is a big reason for everything that goes bad in this country. You know, I mean, I remember you mentioning how immigrants and refugees can also be homeless. You never really elaborated on it, so it's always been on the back of my mind. I just couldn't remember. So.
Yeah, I mean, Czech Republic is an extremely popular place for refugees. I mean, just by June 2023 alone, over 500,000 Ukrainian refugees came to apply for residency here, with over 300,000 of them actively living here.
And out of those 200,000 that didn't really actively live here, is that just because you're not recorded to live here because you're homeless, or because they went back to Ukraine? And that doesn't even mention the other illegal immigrants. You know, every country in Europe has that. We're in Schengen, so you know, Germany, United States. Well, the United States and America, but we all have a big immigrant problem, and most of them are illegal, so we're not even mentioning the illegal ones here, are we?
No, we're not.
That's really a big issue. I really do wonder how we can solve it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really hard problem to solve.
Yeah.
Now we can see what causes homelessness, but how can we fix it? Not to mention that we have solutions which we don't have at the moment. Homeless people themselves may be a problem.
Homeless people have numerous problems. These include aggressiveness, alcoholism, and many others. Another factor of homelessness is mental health issues. When you lose your job or your house, it is very certain that you will get mental health issues such as trauma. People are very poor, and so they cannot afford therapists or any other kind of support. This is why we must push for free healthcare for homeless people.
As we can see, there are numerous causes for homelessness, but we should not overlook one of the most important causes. Homeless people may have problems on their own, which may prevent from getting support from other people. Although not all homeless people are like this, it is important to consider all possibilities, as they can be a big danger. If you are feeling unsafe and a homeless person is displaying these signs, we recommend you to call the police to avoid other people getting hurt.
But you should not generalize all homeless people like this. Some are nice and are just trying to earn a living.
Sometimes homeless people might scam you. this happens very rarely, but it's happening very usually. So, and it's easy to identify it. So you can just avoid it by those terms we just said before.
These donations can be made through foundations such as Streetwise, the Coalition of the Homeless, or directly to a homeless shelter such as St. Teresa Homeless Shelter in Prague.
We as students, we can't do much for the homeless. We're not like adults. We don't have like much money from the jobs. But what can we do? We can set up donation boxes in our schools. For example, in those donation boxes will be money, food, or clothes, or other supplies, which will provide the homeless people very much. And by the way, we can do one more thing. We can record videos about homeless people and how this situation is serious in Prague. And yes, and people, while watching these videos, can think about, should we really do this? Wait, maybe we should donate, because people are really like suffering from traumas and other serious illnesses and homelessness and every other stuff. That's pretty much, that's it. At the end, how do you think? What are you gonna do to help homeless people?